Hi, Kerry here with Best of Us in Retirement, and I mean that. I'm having a wonderful time in my retirement. Had some issues of late. I did a video just the other day how my friends are dying and how it causes me to think a little bit different about life and where I am in it and what's going to happen. Then I just did a very upscale video on the other side, on my investor side, where I talked about, I started out by asking, what's the most important commodity that you consume on a daily basis in your life? And I asked Nita that question, and she thought for a while, and she said, oh, I guess water. I said, no, without what I'm talking about, you couldn't drink water, and you couldn't eat food, and you couldn't. It's oxygen. The most important thing that we consume is free. It's oxygen. Nature provides it. And then I went on to say that it's going to change that through technology, a lot of things are going to become free. Energy is going to become free. Let's face it, the source of all energy, whether it be oil or natural gas or electricity, it all comes from one place. It comes from the sun. And so I got pretty excited about that. And so I wanted to just kind of share that. But the other thing I wanted to share with you is we're going through, Nita and I, and that's what this channel's all about, is about retirement and the issues that we face and the questions that we ask and the decisions we got to make. And the decision we got to make is, where do we want to spend the rest of our life? And I think Nita and I both have come to the conclusion we want to spend the rest of our life at the beach. We really enjoy the life down there. We get out, we walk, we exercise. I love going to the sunset of the beach. I love seeing the sunrise on the beach. It connects me with the world. It makes me feel young. It makes me feel vibrant. I love getting on my bike and riding through the woods and the trails and then just through the community. And the beach is kind of a cool place in that at one part of the year, in the spring and the summer, it's just as populated as it can be. And then in the winter, there's nobody there. And that's when we really enjoy it, when there's nobody there. We find friends, we walk down, we have coffee, we discuss the stock market, we discuss life. And so we're going through a change. And I over on the stock market part of it, I always say that the stock market is driven by change. And if you can anticipate the change, you can get ahead of it and you can invest in the companies that are going to facilitate the change. And so here I am now taking that change, my change in life, and saying, where do I want to spend the rest of my life? Because that is a definite, there is an end. Someone said to me the other day, and I really liked this. It was in response to the video I did that my friends are dying, that everybody dies, but not everybody lives. And what he was saying is, death is, we know it's going to happen. And we need to prepare for it, but not everybody lives life fully. And where I am in my life is, where am I going to get the most for out of the time I got left? And so what we're doing is we're upgrading our house. We're going to have our kitchen cabinets painted. We're going to put in some new hardwood floors, change out some carpeting. We actually had some trees taken down. It's been a bit of an ordeal. Yesterday they took down a tree, a big tall tree, just to the right side of my house. And I was working and Nita was making some cookies, and all of a sudden, boom! And the house really shook. Well, they dropped a big limb on the roof of my house, and so I ran up there, went out, and said, "What was that?" And the guy on the cherry picker or whatever it was said, "Oh, we just had a limb hit the house." And I walked over and had a hole in my roof about that big, a hole, and it busted out the fascia board and the soffit, and So we're going through that. They came out and they patched it, and I said, no. You're not going to put a patch on my $750,000 home so that when I go to sell it in 2 years, somebody says, oh, there's a patch there on the roof. We're going to have to re-roof the whole house. I said, no, that ain't going to happen. And then they tore my yard up, and I said, hey, you ain't getting away with that. You got to put that yard back the way it was. I don't think they're going to make a lot of money off of this job here. But this is the things we're going through. And real estate's pretty damn expensive down on the beach. So we're going to have to make some adjustments there. We thought at one point, well, we'll keep this house and just buy a smaller house down there. But I'm not sure that's going to happen. And I don't know that I want an empty house sitting up here. So what we're going through, I suspect you're going through. I'd like your advice. Any of you? I did talk to a gentleman, again, as a result of that losing my friends. And he used to live in Minneapolis. He used to work for IDS, which I worked for, and which became American Express, which then became Ameriprise. And we traded some comments, and he said, boy, I would never live in Minnesota again. And I asked him where he lives. He said, down in Central Florida. We like it a lot better down there. And that again, spurred that thought. If you only got so much time, and then my son lives down there. My granddaughters gravitate down there. My grandson loves to come visit us down there. So that's something we're going through, and I'd like to get any input from any of you. Now, I'm going to have a Zoom call. It's coming through the Discord. It's on the 27th. It's I believe it's at 4 o'clock. And if you want to participate, what it is we'll get on the phone and we'll talk. We'll get to know each other. And what I want to do is form a community. You know, they have these retirement communities, and they have a central place where you can come and have a cup of coffee and play some cards or some board games or sit down by the pool and that. Well, I want to create something like that on the internet. And the easiest way to do it is a Discord, where you can come and you can communicate just by asking questions, and somebody types in and gives you an answer. But what we want to expand upon it, and when I say we, I have a couple of guys, Kevin and Drew, that support me and help me. And we want to invite you to come on the 27th. I believe it's at 4 o'clock, and I'll put it in the description. You know, memory isn't always the best. And we'll have the Zoom call, and you can ask questions, and we can communicate, and we're going to build a club. Okay, and the Discord is going to be the clubhouse, and it's going to be all about what we are experiencing in retirement and how we can help each other have a better retirement. So that's what right now Nita and I are trying to decide, is where do we want to spend the rest of our life? And I like that picture on the beach, and I like holding hands with my wife and watching the sun go down. I like getting up in the morning before I brush my teeth, walking down to the coffee shop and talking to friends. Maybe I do need to brush my teeth before I go. Nita will make sure I do that. So that's kind of where I'm at. Where are you at? I'm having the best time of my life because I'm living the best half of my life. Let's keep talking about this.